Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside?
Let's ride. My name is Vander Bucher, and this is Finding Frequency. Just over 2.5 hours spent on the motorcycle back to Warsaw today, riding through green forests. There's something about Poland and the greenery here. I mean, it doesn't compare in nature to South Africa, but the green is so lush, and especially in spring when everything starts growing, and it grows so fast. Really, the smells and riding through the thick forested areas, brilliant, especially when you get the jump on the traffic, because the roads are way narrower here in Poland, so traffic can sometimes be a problem, especially when everybody's heading back to Warsaw or to their cities after spending time in the countryside. But as I always say, spending time on a motorcycle is always time well spent.
Why would you look outside yourself when you have all of the world inside? Why would you look outside yourself when you have...
I am Zinhle ZZ Top, the Z-ster, or just Z, really. And I come from Joburg, South Africa. How I know Vern is, when I started out in the industry about 11 years ago, Vern was my strategy director, and he was just this, for me as a young mind coming into the industry, the advertising industry, he was this brilliant mind in a digital sense, and he was a strategist who was unapologetic about pushing back to client, about questioning things, about having a point of view. So with that regard, he kind of immediately became my unofficial mentor, just because I was like, I want to be this person. I want to think like that. I want to walk into a room and say what's on my mind and be respected for it. So yeah, Mr. Vern was that guy for me. And I think he was one of the first people to start calling me ZZ Top or something like that. So one of the things I've learned in this lockdown, and there have been many, but one of the key things for me has been just this need for me to detach myself from everyone else, and to find happiness and purpose within myself rather than finding it in a group or in a social environment. You know, I think we spend so much time surrounding ourselves with all these people and all these things to do and all these activities to fulfill, that we don't really take time to take a breath, be in a moment, be within yourself in that moment, and just go for or find the things that give you purpose and give meaning to your life, that aren't attached to being around 1,000 or 1,000,000 people around you. And that has been kind of my key learning in this lockdown, is just to kind of detach or isolate myself from everyone else so that I could find my true purpose, my true meaning, and to do the things that give me joy and happiness that aren't necessarily attached to a job or to being with friends or even being with family. It's just about what is Z about, what fulfills Z on a spiritual, emotional level that she can do for herself.
Thank you, Z. And as Zinhle mentioned, I was thinking about this very message on my motorcycle trip today, and for me, that little bit of time that I spend away from everything, just completely zoned in, focused on the road, and then riding, is actually the weird thing there, is that it allows me to really think about things and really focus. And I kind of joke with friends and call it my meditation time. And honestly, I think there is a bit of Zen thing with riding on the motorcycle, and I think we all need it. You need that time to sit and think, and I think that is sometimes something that we don't allow ourselves to do, and this virus, this pandemic, has forced us into that space. And I'm hoping that as much as there's going to be a bad effect from this pandemic economically, and we're all struggling a little bit. I hope that this time that we have received to think a little bit more, like Zinhle did, is going to benefit us way down the road. I can only be positive and think it will. And then finally leaving you with this message. Remember, the only real person that you can transform is yourself. So take a little bit of time. Thanks for listening.